Hi guys, I'm back with another Saga battle report. This time I'm doing the Anglo-Saxons versus the Normans. It's my opponent's first time playing the game, so he had some standard models. He's just using some undead models. But the game itself is quite interesting. I've not played Normans before, and I've never played a high cavalry army, especially the Anglo-Saxons. So, stand by and see what happens. This shot came just after I started my first turn, just to show you the armies. I've moved up my levy there, but I've got a unit of levy, and I basically spend 5 points on warriors. So I've got 40 warriors split into what's that? 3 groups of 12, and a little unit of 4 just to bodyguard my warlord. Scenario playing is the one where you have to hunt down the enemy's warlord to win the game, otherwise it goes to points. Right, for my opponent, he's got a vampire lord there who's by himself behind the knights. And then he's got a unit of 8 knights. The dire wolves are the mounted sergeants, so he's got 2 units of warriors. The skellies in the front there are crossbowmen, and then he's got another unit of warriors at the back that's been split up into 2 4-man units just to keep the Saga dice. So in my first turn, I move my levy up and they take a shot at his nearest sergeants. I didn't do anything to him and they gain a fatigue for moving and shooting. And the other units I just shuffle up to try and form some sort of battle line. My guys are pretty well clumped together. I've done this because obviously he's got massive movement with his mounted units and easily engage me on a flank if I'm going to do a long thin line. So at least this way all my guys are fighting from whichever way he charges me. Apologies, I forgot to take photos of my opponent's turn, and it's the end of my turn. He basically sends his mounted sergeants into my levy in the hope of destroying them. With a few battleboard abilities, I managed to hold off and did quite a bit of damage to them, and still have, 5 levy left. And then in my turn, I threw one of my great units of 12 warriors into his mounted sergeants and reduced them down to 3 models. One thing I'm missing here very quickly is my lack of hitting troops. The Anglo-Danes, which I used before, at least had a Hearthguard unit, which can really push out the pain. These big blocks, as good as they are, just don't kick out enough damage really to make an opponent worry. That's just a shot from the other side of the board. Don't think anything else happened there. My opponent comes in again with his mounted sergeants against my levy. He had 3 of them. Now my levy actually beat them off and killed 2, and he lost 1 in return. It's a good job to them. And my opponent swings the rest of his army around the flank there, trying to get around my lines. I think his crossbowmen move and shoot. That's why they got 2 fatigue. Or yeah, I think that's what they did. Trying to shoot at my warriors closest to them. No damage done there. I think that's all he'd done. So I charged in there with my warriors against his 1 mounted sergeant and killed him off, just to try and reduce the chance of him generating Saga later on. Other than that, I didn't do much because I spent a lot of my battle points trying to stay defensive. Just moved my lines around to hold for any kind of charge he's going to break through from my warlord. These guys that just charged in against the mounted sergeant. These are all the gripping beast plastics. As I said, I finally painted up 40 of them. So that's all my mainstay for my warriors. They're good models, I do like them. My opponent's in this turn I think rolled quite badly with his dice and just got shields. So he just moved his crossbowmen up to fire and held everyone else and probably put down a couple of battleboard abilities that he could. And in my turn, this is what I'm really missing from Anglo-Danes. As I said, I've just got no hitty power at all here. My warriors on the right hand side, 12 of them, I put in against his 8. Yes, I've had to move twice, so I gained 1 fatigue, but with my battleboard abilities, I should have had him quite easily here, and then try and push into the warlord like I would normally do with 8 Hearthguard. But I bounced. Seriously, I killed, 3 of his, and he's killed 6 of mine. So, yeah, that wasn't great at all. Definitely missing the hitty. I'm still playing around with my Anglo-Saxons at the moment, trying to find out what the strengths are. It's alright having defensive abilities, but does give your opponent a lot to play with, because I can't go very far, and he knows I'm not going to send out any assaults. So with the rest of my actions, I move my warlord up to hide in between the small 4-man unit and the big 12-man unit. Also here, as you notice, I've only got one unit of 10 or more. This is the letdown here. There's nothing I can do. All my Saga abilities have been reduced now. They're all based for the big units. Again, another downside to the Anglo-Saxons. It's alright having these big units, because once you start taking casualties, all your Saga abilities are rapidly reduced. So yeah, I hid my warlord and hoped I wouldn't get charged. But my opponent saw that opening, charges in against my 4 warriors. I probably tried to play defensively with them, just so they could survive, but they were wiped out to a man, and then he spent more points just to get him into my warlord. Caused plenty of casualties on him, but the warrior unit next to him soaked them all up, so my warlord's still alive, was pushed back, and they've all gained fatigue. So yeah, now I've got no units of 10 or more. My opponent here, seeing a chance to get some Saga generation off me, throws his warlord and his mounted sergeants in with him against my warriors. And luckily he doesn't completely wipe them out. I've got, what, 3 men left there. So I'm in quite a state at the moment, and I need to get his warlord. Now, I think we're on about turn 5 now. We've only got 6 turns of the game. He's wiping me out on points, so the only thing I can go for is his warlord. So what I do is spend all my points. I don't think I use any Saga abilities. I just spend my points to get my warlord and that unit of, what's that, 6 or 7 warriors to join them and charge the enemy general. Again, I've got no other unit to do this. I've got no hitter unit, so it has to be my general as well. Saying that, this could be a way of making my units a bit more hitty if I throw my general in and use Brett Wall to protect him. But especially in a scenario like this, it's too easy to lose him. So I quickly dash across the board with that. And I do manage to slay his warlord. It's not showing it there, but those 3 mounted sergeants that were within 2 inches of him also got wiped out. So yeah, I managed to get a victory. I think on any other battle, other than this one where I could get the quick victory, I would have struggled hugely. The speed of the Normans and their ability to pick and choose the fights they want, especially against my army, which is completely defensive and has no real offensive output, made it hard for me to know what to do. So I really enjoyed this game. I was glad to play it. My opponent enjoyed the game as well, and I think he's actually looking at getting some Normans, which will be ideal, so it's more games to play, and give me more practice on what the hell to do with them. So that's the end of my battle report. Yeah, that was interesting. I'm not sure what to do with my Anglo-Saxons yet. Definitely more games of them to learn the battle board better. I definitely need to learn how to get some offensive ability out of them. As I say, it's okay being defensive, but it means your opponent's going to play around you and you're not going to be doing very much. Probably in other scenarios it would be better. I know I've tried the ones with the buildings last time, and I lost all my abilities because 12-man units can't fit into the small buildings, so that's a bit disappointing. So, I don't know yet. I might go back to my Anglo-Danish, but I'll probably try out my Anglo-Saxons for a bit longer. If any of you guys got any ideas on what to do with the Anglo-Saxons and how to get them moving a bit better, especially against an offensive army like this, put some comments below. Just give me some ideas. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time. Farewell.